5 of you all up?
There's about 5 of us there.
What time was this?
I don't know what time it would have been, but it would have been after 9. At the time we were on just a farm track runs up this range, through the middle of a big paddock, cleared open paddock, and what we had a bit of a technique of hunting these roos. We used to drive up and then come back round and drive out across the paddock and go up this range. It's pretty steep at the top, and then we'd swing around to the right and come back down a fence line and then down a gully, drive out onto a small knoll in the middle of the paddock and then park the vehicle. Just switch the vehicle off, and then with a spotlight we'd just shoot the roos as they come back around. We were all on the back of the vehicle. I can't remember who was holding the light. Big spotlight, 12-inch reflective spotlight, shines a beam about 1 kilometre. But way over 1 kilometre, but you can shoot up to 1 kilometre with it. Anyway, we're shooting roos to the northern side, which were probably 800 yards away, and Shane was doing most of the shooting. And I was standing beside him with one of my rifles, and just out of the corner of my eye, I seen this thing run diagonally down the hill beside us. We'd already driven down that gully, and this thing run down the hill, quite a big animal, cast a big shadow, and it run diagonally down this hill, which is a completely cleared hill with a few tree stumps standing on it. And it went, just as I looked, it went over a fence, through some tussocks, and stood behind this tree. It was in the semi-darkness. I said the reflective beam of the spotlight shines out either side, of course, and there was just enough light there to see this thing go down the hill diagonally and then cross the fence. Anyway, swung the light round, and just as we got the light onto it, it had gone over the fence and went through the tussocks and stood behind a tree. This thing stood behind it, these eyes that stared at you between the fork of the tree. On a return visit to the area, I went and stood behind it. It was a similar height to myself, so I'm 6'1", and I could look out the fork of the tree there. It had these sort of luminous type eyes in the spotlight, and they were looking at us horizontal, a couple of inches apart. And you could see a bit of an outline of this thing's head behind the tree, but you couldn't see any body behind the tree at all. There was nothing sort of standing out the side of the tree or anything like that. But you couldn't see the outline of the head and like shoulder by the naked eye. You had to look through your scope on your rifle. Anyway, I was saying to Shane, shoot it, and Shane was saying, no, I can't shoot it. He said, I don't know what it is. He said, you have a look. So I had a look through my rifle, and anyway, through the rifle you could see the outline of the head and sort of down to what you'd say with the shoulders sort of thing. And we were, with the spotlight held straight on it, we were all standing on the back of the Jeep, of course, at this time. With the spotlight on it, this thing had turned to the southern side, the uphill side, and you see the complete outline of his body sort of thing as it turned to the side, and his eyes go vertical. So it went from the horizontal plane, he'd not so much tilt his head on the side, but his whole body would go over the side, and you could see the whole outline of him, like the top quarter of him. It was a solid dark mass. There was no colour or anything like that. It was just I don't know if it was either brown or a black. And he was standing upright when I went over the fence, and it was more like a person, a big person. You know? It was definitely I think was standing upright, and it was definitely walking on 2 legs. It did this several times. Turned and looked. His eyes went vertical, and in the spotlight, of course, at that distance, the eyes they look as if they changed colours. They were sort of not so much a red eye like a fox. They're more, it'd go to a yellowy green. But he did that 3 or 4 times. I think he was summing us up, because he looked between the tree, the fork of the tree at us, and then he'd turn the head on the side and his eyes would go vertical. And that happened several times. Anyway, we having a bit of nerves were starting to get in a bit, and I'd never seen anything like that before, and we were a bit concerned. I said to Shane, best thing to do is shoot it. Anyway, Shane wouldn't shoot it, because we were murderous blokes. Shane wouldn't shoot. He said, no, I won't shoot it. I said, well, put the shot into the base of the tree and we'll see what happens. So Shane did that. He had a pretty big gun. He put a shot into the base of this tree, and this thing took off up the hill like a dog shot in the arse, it did. And at the same time it went up the hill, its head was turned looking at us as it went up the hill, and these eyes sort of went a real yellowy glow, and I thought, nearly fell off the back of my Jeep in fear, shaking like a dog shitting razor blades. I thought, Jesus Christ. And Shane Bain said, that's it, he said, we're getting out of here, that's it. He said, I'm going home now.
Did you follow it in the spot as it was running?
Yeah, it had the spotlight on us and went up the hill and just went into the trees on the, not on the...
So you had a good full view of the thing. So how was it? How was it running?
It was running like anyone had run up the hill, just like a human had run up the hill. It wasn't on four legs. It wasn't hopping. It was running, and it was taking big strides, and it moved very, very quickly. It went up this hill like I'd never seen anything go up a hill so fast like that. You can see the outline of his head. It was and shoulder sort of thing. It was just as you'd imagine, but it didn't have a long neck like a human's got. There was no neck as such. It was just like a, I don't know, just the shoulders sort of come down, or I don't know whether it was hair that give that impression or what it was. But it went up this hill. I've never seen it go up a hill that quick in my life. And it was probably a week later we were out there again shooting in daylight this time, and we decided we'd head up and have a look at this spot. And we went up and parked in the same spot and had a bit of a walk around and walked down and crossed the fence. It was a normal fence, that, you know, a bit of a job to get over. You jump over yourself sort of thing. And the tussocks were waist deep on me at the time. And went and stood behind this tree, and the limb was a similar height. And where this thing ran up the hill, it was the tussocks were waist deep as well, and very hard going, like not very even ground, a bit rocky and rock scree and shit all over the ground, logs and stuff. So this thing was pretty agile. It went up the hill at high speed, and it wasn't bouncing up and down. It was sort of striding out. It was very, very smooth, and that was it. We bloody thought, Jesus Christ, what was that? We spent a lot of time out there shooting one thing and another, and never seen anything like that before. A good 15 minutes we sat there watching it, and this, like I say, this thing, his eyes were horizontal behind the tree when he was standing upright, and then he turned to his side, and absolutely no doubt at all, you see the outline of his top quarter of his body in the scope with the light.
So did that look solid, or did it?
Yes, very, very solid. Big too. The thing that struck us so much at the time was his head turned and looked at us as it went up this hill. I was completely focused on these eyes. They sort of put a chill up my back, and I thought, shit, what the hell was that? And then the whole Faye Bones, that's it, he said, we're out of here. You know? So we went home. Big brave hunters. Knocked over 100 or 150 kangaroos.
Compare it in sort of the build to a person.
Oh no, I think it was tall and well built. It's very solid. It was definitely very athletic to head up this hill at the speed it did. We were pretty adventurous sort of fellas, and nothing much sort of frightened us, and we had all the firepower on our side. We could have shot it dead on the spot. It was the first time I've ever seen Shane Bain balk at shooting something, because he usually bowled it arse overhead in one hit, even on the run, no trouble at all. But so we definitely seen something there that resembled a man, because Shane's words were that, nah, it looks too much like a man, and Shane wouldn't shoot it at all.
And when it ran like hell, basically.
Yeah, it went like a bloody rocket, it did. Up this hill, very steep.
Did it look back at you the whole time, or only just?
No, it looked at us the whole time it went up the hill, and then it just went into the trees and it was gone. There was nothing.